Hey, welcome to this Windows channel, and this is another video for the privacy settings in browsers. As I was mentioning in the Google Chrome security and privacy settings, I would do other browsers. So now we are doing the Microsoft Edge browser for Windows 10. And of course, look for your favorite browser in the coming days, where I'll be doing pretty much every browser. If you have a particular browser I didn't do, let me know and I'll post a video. So in Microsoft Edge, the security settings are not complete yet probably. I would think that with the fall update and with also future updates, there will be more and more, and we'll probably revisit these eventually. But for now, if you go to Microsoft Edge, the security settings are on the upper right corner in the little three dots called More Actions. There you'll go into Settings, and then you go way down to View Advanced Settings. Pretty much everything is here. You'll see that there's a section at the bottom here that's called Privacy and Services, but still there are some security and privacy stuff that can happen here. So for example, Show Home button is not one, but there's the block pop-ups that is turned on by default. This is good and you want it by default. And I get a lot of people telling me, oh, I still get pop-ups. Where's the pop-up blocker in Edge? Or there's no pop-up blocker in Edge. Yeah, there is one, and it's pretty good actually. So if you have pop-ups, either you go to websites that you shouldn't visit, or you might actually be visiting or having some malware. So make sure that you scan your computer in search of malware if you get pop-ups in Microsoft Edge, because you should not. Another thing here about security, use Adobe Flash Player. It is automatic in Edge, and be very careful not to click any little windows that might happen or show up on web pages that will tell you, oh, your Flash Player is out of date, you should click here. That is not at all a good idea, because Edge already has Adobe Flash Player. You see here it's switched on, and it updates itself through Windows updates, so you don't have to get Flash Player at all for it to work. Unfortunately, I hope that Flash Player eventually dies, because it is a security risk. There's just too many problems with Adobe Flash Player in the past months and years, and it's time to move on to something else slowly. But unfortunately, if you turn this off, you'll still have too many websites that won't actually work very well. So it's a little sad for that. I always use caret browsing. Caret browsing, for those that don't know, is a special way of browsing using the keyboard and the arrow keys, that you can go through text and highlight text with it. Then you've got the privacy and services, and this is more of the big privacy settings. So here you offer to save passwords. As I've told you, it is really better and safer not to save passwords in your browser. It's always better to just enter the passwords every time you want to enter a password. Now this is offer to save, meaning that it doesn't save it automatically. It's just going to pop up a little window that's going to say, do you want to save this password? And so you can still turn it on. I leave it on for a simple reason. For things that have absolutely no security risk for me, whatever. Some of the websites I go to, for example, that just have a little login that I go to, but I don't care if somebody just logs in with my info, because I'll just do another account and I don't care about it. So I leave it on because I have a few websites that I do have a safe password, because it's just easier. But I do not say yes to safe passwords for banking and stuff like that, because it is a security risk. It is a problem. Somebody could take control of that and steal your money basically. So it's better not to, and if you just want to be the safest possible, just turn it off to make sure that it never saves any password. If you have, like me, the intention of just having some websites save passwords and others no, you can click the manage my saved passwords here. It's going to show you all the websites that you have saved passwords, so you can actually remove the ones you don't want and just keep the ones that you don't really care about. But be very careful in deciding which one you care about. Some people tell me sometimes, I don't care if somebody steals my email. You should, because they're going to send crap to your friends who might get infected, might receive malware, or might even be fooled in thinking that maybe you are having problems and you need money and it's actually not you, it's somebody else. There's a real danger in getting your email stolen. One button here, send the do not track requests. That is not bad to turn it on. It doesn't prevent anything, but what it does is it asks the website that you go to, oh, can you please not track me? It is something that a website needs to have opt-in. So if you do not want to be tracked, this is only a request. It's not something that a website has to do, meaning that most websites still will track you. But there are websites that actually say, yeah, okay, I won't track you, it's okay. So you can leave it on, and at least you know that maybe some of the websites do not track you thanks to this. Here you don't see it much, but I have Cortana assist me in Microsoft Edge on-off button. Mine is grayed out because this computer is in Canada, so Cortana is not available right now. But for those of you that have Cortana, this is a security risk, or more of a privacy risk, simply because it means that Cortana is checking out everything you do in your web browser and sending that information to Microsoft. And the reason it has to do that is because it needs to do that in order for Cortana to work. Personally, I do not believe this is a privacy risk, because I do not believe Microsoft takes that information and uses this at all. I think it's just, it depends on your level of privacy that you want. If you're scared that Microsoft might be looking at that and maybe, stealing some information, personal info, of course you can turn that feature off, but it means Cortana will not be able to help you in the Microsoft Edge browser. Then you have, of course, search in the address bar with. Now, one of the things I want to mention here is that, for example, here I've decided that in the address bar I search with Google. But a browser, or actually a search engine, often tracks you pretty much. Google tracks you a lot. A lot of people don't know, but Google actually keeps from 3 to 6 months of your personal searches in a file there on a server somewhere. It has information about your IP and the searches that you do. So it can really ID your computer and know, okay, that person searches for this all the time. The reason for that is not to use that information badly. It is mostly to try and serve you some ads that will most likely interest you. So that's why when you search for, I don't know, golf courses, you suddenly get some golf course or some golf info on ads in the different websites you visit, because of the tracking that it does. It knows. But the security here is that you can actually change that. If you want to not be tracked, there's a website called DuckDuckGo, and that is a search engine. DuckDuckGo is a search engine that does not track you or keep personal info on you. If that matters to you, if you don't want to be tracked, you can try DuckDuckGo by simply, clicking here and add new, and you'll see that you have here. I got DuckDuckGo. Of course, when you do that, you need to have or to be on the website DuckDuckGo to do it. But it is, a very interesting thing that you can turn on, meaning that they won't track you thanks to the fact that you've changed to another web, a search engine that does not track, basically. Show suggestions, search suggestions as I type. Of course, that has the privacy risk of simply the fact that when you type, it will go search with the information you have through the Microsoft servers, and will send information to Microsoft so that it can actually give you suggestions of what you are searching for, maybe help you, complete your search results. So if for you it's a big privacy setting or privacy problem, you can actually turn that off. Cookies, of course, by default is don't block cookies. Technically, blocking cookies is not very good an idea, because what happens is that a lot of websites don't work well if you block cookies. Cookies have had a bad time. A lot of people been pointing cookies and saying, oh, these are bad. They're not that bad. The problem is cookies are saved from the different websites you go. In order for a website, for example, to remember you, so they know that you have already been there, and also in order to save some basic information about, things that you've chosen. For example, say you go to the MSN page. Basically what's going to happen is it's going to ask you where you are often on the first time. So here it's going to ask me, oh, do you want French Canada or English Canada? And it will store my choice in a cookie, so that every time I go, it doesn't have to ask me again. So there are good things to it, but the bad things is that, of course, a malicious website can scan your cookies. Every website scans your cookies, by the way, and they just know which websites you visit. So a malicious website could look at the cookies and say, oh, that person uses Bank of America, so let's send a fake Bank of America page to make that person believe that, it's our bank. And that's the danger here, mostly, of cookies. But if you're careful what you do, it's not that big of a risk. And you can, of course, go and erase all the data and cookies from time to time, especially after you go banking or online shopping, stuff like that. Let sites save protected media licenses on my device on. That is, for example, Netflix. If you're a Netflix subscriber, of course it will save protected media licenses, because the movies and TV shows on Netflix are protected media. So basically they will save that information on your computer to know that it's okay for you to view these. So not that much of a privacy risk technically here. Then you got use page prediction to speed up browsing, improve reading, and make my overall experience better. Once again, this means it sends information to some third party or Microsoft servers. So it could be a privacy risk in the sense that it, of course, sends information that will tell Microsoft or any third party company that uses this feature what websites you go to, basically. And it will try to predict where you want to go to. The idea behind it is really to improve the speed of browsing, because the more it can predict in advance where you're going, the faster you'll be there. Then again, it has a little privacy risk. It all depends on how much privacy you want versus the features. That's where you need to set things. You notice that I've left everything on because I am not paranoid at the fact that, I don't think these things are necessarily bad. And unless I have proof that really the information used here is used really maliciously, I don't want to turn these things off. And finally, one of the security features of Internet Explorer and Microsoft Edge that's very cool is help protect me from malicious sites and downloads with Smart Screen Filter. The Smart Screen Filter is actually a good thing because, yeah, it does have to screen the websites you visit, but it is in order to protect you, to block, for example, websites that have malicious stuff on it, block websites that phishing sites, for example. It often is the Smart Screen Filter that will block a fake bank page, for example. So it's better to leave this one on. Of course, it is a scan, so it checks what you do, but it's done in a way that it wants to protect you, not steal information from you. So all of that, depends on how much privacy versus features you want to have in your web browser. If you enjoy my videos, why not subscribe? You'll be informed when new videos are online. If you have any comments, questions, anything you want to know, any problems you might have, why not share it with us? We'll try to help you if we can. And check out the videos for the other browsers on the web, on the channel, because I have pretty much every browser with their security, their own security features, of course. Give us thumbs up if you like the videos, helps us on the ratings, and thank you so much for following us.